Hey, good morning, everybody, and happy 4th of July. It is such a special time here in the United States of America. Welcome to the morning briefing on Friedman Adventures. It is really an honor for me to spend some time with you today. I know it's a busy day with family and friends. It's the time when we celebrate our great nation, all that it does throughout the world. It is a special place, and I've been fortunate enough to travel around the world and see all these other nations, which I truly love. I love other cultures. I love other foods. I love waking up in the morning and being like, what's out there? I can't wait to go out there and walk around and explore. But there's just nothing like the good old USA. And it's a great moment, even though the 4th of July, we normally don't think of our armed forces and all the men and women who protect our great country. But without them, none of this is possible. None of it. We can't go fishing. We can't do anything. So my sincere thanks to all of you. All right, before we get into it, let me and we got a lot to talk about, including our trip, which changed now to a one-day trip. Looking forward to that. I want to talk to you about Sean Roberts on the Pride and all the work that guy puts in to a trip. It's absolutely incredible. But Isaac Parcell, Isaac sent me an invitation to come out to a barbecue later this afternoon. I got a little bit of a tight schedule, but that doesn't mean I'm deeply appreciative. Isaac, thank you so very much for that, and I send you all my best here on the 4th of July. All right, yesterday, Captain Eddie Leland and I were running around. We did a little bit of surf fishing, just a little, so the fact that we didn't catch anything doesn't mean a whole heck of a lot. But we were walking around, and we ran into the guys from the Keep It Real crew. And I got to tell you, what a group of wonderful guys. It was so nice to meet them. They had a legal halibut, some nice yellowfin croaker. I tried to steal their halibut. They wouldn't have any part of it, but they were so nice. And they made me actually feel like I was somebody recognizing me. And man, it was just great to spend some time with people like that who are in the great outdoors and who also are taking care of the great outdoors. Because after we met a group of the guys from Keep It Real, then we went and we met 3 others. And they were really special people. There was Matthew, his little daughter Isabel, 9 years old. Isabel, good morning. Nice to see you again. And of course, with a name like this, another guy named Philip. It was really great to meet them. So they're out there, they're fishing, they're having a great time. They're teaching their daughter, at least Matthew and Phil, they're teaching Isabel what the great outdoors is all about, getting her off her phone, if she probably doesn't have a phone, I hope. But once again, just the outdoors. And so they designed this game, and I thought it was fantastic because it just says everything about people who enjoy the great outdoors. They had a game where Isabel would go out and pick up 5 pieces of trash, and if she were able to accomplish that feat, then she could draw this obstacle course that Phil would have to run. And she loved watching Phil suffer and run that course every 30 seconds. So, you don't have to be a brain surgeon to figure out they're teaching her to take care of the environment while having a great time. It was really a beautiful thing, and I'm so happy I got to experience that with them. All right, let me take you down to Ensenada, San Diego, talk bluefin tuna. Of course, that 4-letter word is in the picture again, and it is called wind. And that is part of the reason why we were able to change it up and cancel the first day of our 2-day trip, which was going to leave Tuesday night when it's really nasty weather, and then leave on Wednesday night when seas are moderating, things are getting much better, and we're going to be able to go out and hit San Clemente Island. Morning, you guys. Suerte. All right, a bunch of guys going fishing or walking by here, and hopefully they are going to catch some fish. I'm praying that they will. So we do have that weather, and that is keeping that bluefin tuna bite down out there on Tanner Cortez region, where it's been good out there. The nighttime bite has been excellent. Big, heavy jigs, like 300, sometimes 500, work really, really well out there. Long-range boats in the kind of weather we're looking at can hang in this kind of weather, so hopefully they'll continue to get a piece of it. It's been mostly 20 to 60 pound bluefin tuna. That big stuff has yet to move out there, but there's been flashes of it, and it can happen at any point in time. Reason I mention that is because you still need to be bringing that 2-speed reel with that 80 to 130 pound in addition to maybe a 60-pound outfit when you're fishing out there, because you get flashed with that big stuff. You're definitely going to have it on the heavy tackle, and there's no way you want to fish out there with a 300-gram jig without that heavy tackle. So bring that along with you. That will do you really, really well. Down in Ensenada, some of those pongeros now starting to get a little piece of that dorado, yellowtail on the kelps, and yellowfin tuna that hasn't moved in mass yet, but we're certainly starting to see it. And occasional bluefin starting to bite for the boys down there, trolling those Mad Mac lures around. That has been the preferred way to get a bite. No question about it. Those guys have made their living down there by doing that. So once again, two scenarios. Well, actually three with the islands. We'll talk about that when we get to the islands. But you've got that warm water influence pushing that yellowfin and dorado and kelp patty yellowtail up. Some of these kelps are just frickin' loaded with mostly 5 to 10 pound yellowtail, but some bigger fish on the kelps also. And you roll up on it, hit it with a scoop of bait, and it just explodes. And Vern Vallis the other day, who attended our seminar when we were out casting in the park, he was up in the bow first, fired an iron on the lip of the kelp, 10 feet from the kelp, wound on it, and got the first yellow on board. Once again, Vern, congratulations, great job indeed. So that, you have that influence, you have that fish out on Tanner and Cortez. When it gets on the bank, it seems to want to settle in and bite. So that is all very, very good stuff. Those kelp patty fish, you need some 30-pound, 40-pound, 30's probably about right. Even 25 will handle most of that stuff. Fluorocarbon, we like Opsin USA. USA, baby. 4th of July. Happy 4th, everybody. www.opsinusa.com. Put FA in at checkout. That is Friedman Adventures. Get a note from Greg and a special gift. And his little hands are falling off at this point in time. All right. So we've got all that going on. Now, okay, it's July the 4th. It is the traditional time when the albacore show up. Will there be albacore today? I don't know. I'm not going out on a limb on that. However, conditions still look good. Tommy Holland, happy 4th, Tommy, doing all that great work, keeping us in touch with the commercial boys. Not a lot of activity there right now, so nothing new to report. Tommy is in constant communications with me. So we'll keep our eyes on it and see if anything happens. But we have like a triangle of perfect water from Ensenada to San Diego. About 75-mile area of purple, blue, anchovy-ridden, or I should say just anchovies all over it. Perfect water temp. So we have that warm water on the coast and the cooler water offshore. And some guys say, oh, well, we got all this warm water stuff. There's no way you're going to get albacore. They may be right in the end, but it won't be because of the oceanography, because we've had many, many years in the past where you have that alternative. Down the beach for the warm water stuff, out to the Outer Banks for the albacore. Man, wouldn't that be something? Just to propel this thing into another dimension. So we're watching all of those scenarios for you very, very closely. Man, if somebody catches some albacore today, I'm going to... what am I going to do? Yeah, I'm going to get Isabel to run around Surfside, California. Isabel, you listening? You've got to make some laps, maybe 2 miles. Can you do that? All right. I don't know why I'm pawning it off on poor little 9-year-old Isabel. All right. Let's talk islands right now. We got wind, and that is in the forecast. Tuesday, Wednesday looks like it's going to be very breezy. We'll have to watch that. Thursday is looking pretty good. It's still going to be breezy, but not unfishable by any stretch of imagination. We intend to get some stuff accomplished, probably at San Clemente Island. I'll talk about that when I get up to this region, because there's been some pretty good conking going out there on yellowtail and other species. So I'm excited about it. And Chef Jason will be celebrating his birthday with us, and the life of the party is going to be a lot of fun, no question about it. Todos Santos down there off Ensenada, beautiful Baja, California. Still barracuda and some yellowtail. There's been yellows on the surface iron and yo-yo iron. Move you up to the Coronado Islands, where many of the 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. boats have been making their living, kind of waiting for that warm water stuff to push up the coast. Hopefully it's going to get on the bite here very, very soon. I think we go through this weather scenario and you're going to see that whole thing turn on. Don't forget, July 22nd on the Malahini, Friedman Adventures will be there. Really looking forward to fishing with my friend Bill Wilkerson, and that should be an absolutely great trip. So really nice fishing at the Coronado Islands. If you like that mixed bag stuff, San Diego had 5 yellowtail, 100 calico bass, 76 barracuda. Really nice fishing there. 5 yellows on the Grande with that other mix of fish also in there. So while those numbers on the yellowtail here recently have been knocked off the charts, you get a shot at the yellows and get some gar and calico bass. Not bad at all. All right, let's move out to San Clemente Island, where we're seeing a similar kind of bite, pretty much. Thunderbird was on a 2-day trip, and of course, Jeff is such an exceptional fisherman, and Markland had 58 nice grade yellows on that 2-day trip. Really good signal there at San Clemente Island. High hopes for us that we're going to get a piece of that on Thursday, leaving Wednesday night on a 1-day trip. There's also, calico bass, some barracuda, bonita bouncing around there. Pretty good action, and Clemente is a good island for if you do get some wind for hiding in some areas and still catching fish. We certainly did that on our last Amigo trip, where we got into this just looked like a pond, a lake, this beautiful flat calm weather, and we were catching some smaller yellows and having fun with the calico bass and the bonita and all of that. Incidentally, San Pedro local guy, Matt Baca. And Matt's a great guy. He graces the cover of our video today, our morning briefing today, with a nice big yellow he caught at SCI at San Clemente Island on board the Amigo. Anthony Amalfitano sent that to me. Anthony, all my best to you and your family for a wonderful 4th of July. Really a special guy. El Dorado with a white sea bass over there. Other boats picking away. The Fury a couple days ago had 33 yellowtail. We're going to go through this breeze and then hopefully get back to some good catching in that neck of the woods on Thursday. And there still are some sea bass nests over there that we're going to definitely look at on board the Pride. I just want to mention for one moment, Sean Roberts and Michael Potvin on the Pride, just all the hoops they've been jumping through the last couple of days. I mean, they're trying to work out a scenario where we can fish. The game plan was to go up into the Channel Islands. We had squid all lined up, the sea bass chewing up there. It really looked like we were gonna have a great game plan, and then Mother Nature enters into it and blows us to the docks. And ultimately, I love Sean Roberts because he said, I'm not in this business to make people miserable. I'm in this business to give people the best chance they have at fish and a lot of fun. So we changed our 2-day to a 1-day, and I'm really looking forward to it. I can't really, all the work that has gone into this trip before we've even left the docks, and I know here on the 4th of July, he's still racking his brain thinking, where am I gonna go? Where am I gonna fish? How can I line up squid? All of that stuff. No guarantees on anything other than you're gonna get 100% effort out of Sean and Michael, the Pride, and out of me, because I'll be there shooting your photos and shooting your videos this Wednesday night. Looking forward to it. All right, the Channel Islands, gonna get some wind also. Still smacking at the white sea bass. There's occasional really big scores. Right now, kind of picking at it because of this wind and weather, but a big explosion is not out of the question. That sea bass is corroded up there in the epicenter of white sea bass fishing, which is the Channel Islands. You have so many great boats up there. Of course, Tucker McCombs on the Endeavor. He does such a wonderful job. The Island Spirit has gotten a piece of it. They're kind of all-day boat up there out of Ventura sport fishing along the coast. There's been some barracuda and stuff for my good friend Steve on board the California, which is the old Matt Walsh. So there's been some really good fishing up there. Incidentally, give Saul a call at Ventura and tell him hello for me. Make a reservation, take a kid fishing along the coast. You can't beat that when these winds subside a little bit. That's 805-676-3474. And then, of course, all those other great boats up there, Mirage, Aloha Spirit, Cobra. I can go on and on and on. They really have some great boats up in that neck of the woods. They have been fishing a lot of that run and gun fishing. When this weather gets better, it'll be, running on a sonar mark or actually visually seeing a bunch of white sea bass on the surface, and sometimes dropping down with a 10-ounce torpedo with a dropper loop rig, other times with just a sliding egg sinker and a live squid, or sometimes even a popsicle. Sometimes the frozen squid also works out. So once again, everybody, there's the potential for more great sea bass fishing. July looms really great for those Channel Island guys. And we'll continue to watch that for you very, very closely. Moving you now down the coast off of Ensenada, the Punta area. There's a little bit of barracuda, but really good calico fishing in there. Along the University Point and other areas of the Baja coast to Salsipuedas. There's an occasional sea bass, not a lot, and some good bass fishing and quite a bit of bonita and barracuda spread throughout there. San Diego area, rockfish, and all that other stuff, short calicos, legal calicos, barracuda. We're seeing some of that around, and also as we move you to Dana, some of those guys, those local boats, are fishing sculpin on their twilights, doing well, sculpin on their daytime, and also sand and calico bass, barracuda and bonita. No huge numbers, but we're continuing to monitor that for you very, very closely. And then we move you up the Long Beach area. We have seen occasional hits on the barracuda, sand bass, calico bass. It's been down a little bit, but that can come roaring back here. It should get going again. Hopefully, we've suffered from this wind. Conditions kind of deteriorated. So when you have conditions like that, you got to get tough as an angler. And what do I mean by that? You got to take your time and choose a good hot bait. You have got to make sure you're fishing fluorocarbon. And if you're fishing calico bass, straight calicos, 15 pound, 12 pound, you're going to see the bites really increase like you can't believe. It really works well. And if you can get an anchovy, that has been the candy bait. That works so well. Hopefully you have a tank of chovy, as that has been really, really super effective. Up there, Marina del Rey, surrounding areas, we see some barracuda up there. Actually, they had 152 gar yesterday out of Marina del Rey. And up there on the Stardust and surrounding areas, we have seen some barracuda at times. They unfortunately have had some wind, but the Stardust had good rock fishing until the wind got to them and kind of put a halt to all of that. You see these fishing guys behind me going the other way now. Hopefully they're going to come up with some fish. Happy 4th of July, you guys. And man, that makes me jealous. I should be doing that myself. So once again, we're going to deal with a little bit of wind. And then by Thursday, things are looking much better. And by Friday, it really looks very, very good. All right, those of you who are on our charter, we are leaving on Wednesday night. We got an 8 p.m. departure time. 7 p.m. right there at 22nd Street Landing is the Friedman Adventures studio, and we will have a sandwich spread for you before we depart at 7. Come on in. You'll get to check out the studio, take some photos, have some fun, celebrate Chef Jason's birthday. That'll be a lot of fun. And then from there, we'll board the Pride and be on our way probably right now for San Clemente Island. If anything changes, we get some intel, which Sean is, I tell you, maybe the 4th of July, but he's working on that as we speak. We get any new intel, we'll definitely take advantage of that. All right, everybody. Sincere thanks for all you are doing for Friedman Adventures. I really deeply appreciate it. I hope you have a memorable, special 4th of July. Remember how great this place is, the United States of America. There's no place on the face of the earth like it. We're so blessed to be here. I send you all my very best for a safe, fun, and wonderful 4th of July.